So good morning. Yesterday we are looking at the equations and the identities, and we started by doing about Ressource theorem, and that's what we had to start with. So, and we did one example, so we need to add the second example on it before we move to linear equations. So example 2. Solve the equations. Solve the equation. Solve the equation. X squared plus 2x plus 12 out of x squared plus 2x equals 7. Solution. I want you to first pause your click on your video and first see that question what it's saying about. Saying solve the equation x squared plus 2x plus 12 all of x squared plus 2x equals 7. So how do you do such a kind of equation? Or first observe critically what is common. You can see there is a division. This can see x squared plus 2x is again here x squared plus 2x. That means it is common. What we do, we let that one to be another variable. You can either say y, p, or z, but not in terms of x. So I will use y, let x squared plus 2x equals a y. So after getting that step, where you see x squared plus 2x, just substitute in the variable y. So what I'm going to have, we are going to have y plus 12 out of y equals 7. So what is the lowest common multiple? The lowest common multiple is a y. So what you do for this case, multiply throughout by y on every index. So y times y, we're going to have y squared plus, then here y disappears, we remain with 12 equals 7y. This one is a positive. When it comes in this side, it automatically becomes a negative. We rearrange it very well. So this is y squared minus 7y plus 12 equals a 0. So this is a quadratic equation which needs to be solved. And we finished learning about how to solve quadratic equations. You can either use completing square method or factor method. So or quadratic formula. But for me, I will purposely use what we call the factor method, which needs us to look at the factors, sums, and the products. So for this case, what is our product? Our product is 12. What is our sum? Our sum is -7. Look at the factors. What are the factors? Think of two numbers. When you multiply them, you get a positive 12. And when you happen to add, you come out with a -7. So according to me, they will have got -3 and -4. So instead, where there is a 7y, kindly substitute in these factors. So we are going to have y squared minus 3y minus 4y plus 12 equals 0. Tap, pull out what is common. What is common in the first instance is a y. Pull out a y into y minus 3. Again, what is common here is a -4 into y minus 3 equals 0. So what are we going to write? We are going to write y minus 4 again into y minus 3 equals 0. Then from there, we are supposed to go on with either each bracket equals 0, because we said you only say either equals when the right hand side is equal to 0. So we say either y minus 4 equals 0. This means y is 4. Or y minus 3 equals 0. That means y equals 3. So I've already got our values of y, which we let, but our question was saying in terms of x. That means they want us to get the value of x. And that's why learners get challenges. When they say solve, they want the exact value from the question which they have given you. But we only let another variable to be another variable. And some of you have a challenge, you only stop from there, then you come out and you assume you have passed. That is not a mark. Our mark should involve in x values. So then we go ahead and we say but x squared plus 2x was equal to a y. Then you start for the first case. For y equals 4, we are starting with that. What is going to happen? We are going to have x squared plus 2x equals 4. Bring it this side. I've got x squared plus 2x minus 4 equals 0. We factorize. What are the factors? Look at the factors of it. The first step, the product is -4, and sum is 2. Think of two numbers. When you multiply them, you automatically come out with a -4. And when you happen to add, you are going to come out with a +2. Can we think of them? Who has finished thinking out of them? I think for my case, those ones are not there. So we can use our quadratic formula. Let's use our quadratic formula. So we shall say from x equals the -b. Or let me use completing square method, because some of you have been neglecting it. Let's use this completing square. I've got x squared plus 2x equals 4. We divide on this number by 2. We are going to have x squared plus x. And I said on this number, you add it here on both sides and you add it on the other side. So you're going to be plus 1, the whole of it squared, which is equal to 4 plus 1, the whole of it squared. So what am I having? This one becomes now a perfect square. So we are going to have x plus 1, the whole of it squared, equals 4 plus 1, you are getting 5. We take the square root. We have got x plus 1 equals plus or minus the root of 5. So what is x alone? X alone becomes -1 plus or minus root 5. Therefore, we can say x1 equals -1 plus root 5, and x2 equals -1 minus root 5. Those are the first scenarios for when y is equal to 4. Then we also go ahead, we look at a scenario when we have got the value of y when y is equal to 3. So we are going to say for y equals 3, we have got x squared plus 2x equals 3. Bring this side, we're going to have x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. Think of two numbers. When you multiply them, you get -3. And when you happen to add, you're automatically going to come out with what we call a +2. So, and my own analysis and the way we are seeing, the factors are going to be a 3 and -1. So instead of this, we substitute, and this becomes x squared minus x. I'm using factor method, plus 3x minus 3 equals 0. Two numbers are being factorized in that way. What is common here is x into x minus 1, and what is common there is a plus 3 into x minus 1 equals 0. So what do we have? We're going to have x plus 3 again into x minus 1 equals 0. We say either x plus 3 equals 0, it means x is -3, or x minus 1 equals 0, x equals 1. Also, therefore, x1 equals -3 and x2 equals 1. That's how we solve a number in that way. Never fail a number which comes when it is very simple for you. Those 5 marks, always pocket them, as we are going to go to another examples.